Hey everybody, it's Thursday, means it's time for your Thursday Thought. I thought I would just bring you some statistics, numbers, because I know how much everyone loves numbers. But what I really wanted to look at is now that April numbers are closed out, we can see some of April's numbers to see what this virus, how it's affected our local market. April's a really interesting month because we get to see some rear view mirror statistics and some windshield statistics, meaning looking back and see what had happened, but also it gives us some indications of what May and June will be. So I'll share those with you. So first off, is total sales was right in line with previous year. I'm not sure if you can see this, but basically we had 4,386 home sales, and it's right in line with some previous years. Not a lot of difference between this April versus April's in years past. Our average and median home sales definitely increased. And they have been on an increasing trend since November of 19. So for the past about 6 months, we have seen pretty consistent gains, and our average price point is at $395. And so if we continue to see this next month, we should be over $400,000 for our average price point. But that's a little besides the point. So I do want to touch base on this. Is a pretty big number to me. It's the new listings for April of 2020. And you'll see we have just shy, we have 1,450 new listings. But if you look in years past, we've been at 1,817 as our lowest and 1,972 as our highest. So within about 150, 160 units for the past 4 years. And here we took about a 500 unit hit April 2020. So what does that tell me? It tells me that sellers in the age of Corona didn't want to list their house, and if they could wait, they did wait, and so that is a pretty telling number. And then beyond that, the next interesting number that's really interesting to me, is this total under contract. And so you can see in past years, we've put in 2,500, 2,600, 2,800, and 3,000 units under contract in the month of April. But in 2020, we only put 1,954. Again, it's probably because there wasn't a lot of inventory, because not a lot of people listed their homes, but also probably some buyers pumped the brakes. You'll also see that our days on market really dropped. Again, I think that's probably because there was more competition, because there was less homes. In other words, there were probably more buyers who were willing to brave the environment than there were sellers who were willing to risk putting their homes on the market. And so that led to a higher average and median price, a lower days on market, fewer listings, and fewer homes going under contract in the month of April. So what I think that will end up meaning is that our May and our June, we're going to see a much lower volume. I also would think that now that we're starting to open up a little bit as an economy, especially here in the Pikes Peak region, El Paso County in particular, you're going to see a surge of listings. People who had not listed in the end of March and April, and maybe even the first part of May, are now going to start listing their homes. And so we're going to see a jump in inventory over May, June, and probably even into July. And we'll also see a decrease in homes actually closed in May and June, because remember that real estate it's about a 30 to 45 to even sometimes 60-day cycle from when you go under contract until when you close, and so that's a thing to kind of keep in mind. So obviously we're looking at some snapshots, some stills of the month. What I think will be interesting is when we get into the fall and even the winter months, when we look back over and we compare 2020 to 2019 in a year-to-date statistic. So how many homes have we sold year-to-date at the end of October will be real indicative to see how hard or how bad this virus hit our local real estate market. So I'll be keeping my eye on that for you guys. Let me know if you would like to have a conversation around some of these numbers, what these numbers might mean for you. If it's a good time to list, it's a bad time to list, good time to buy, bad time to buy. I'm happy to have that conversation with you, share my thoughts in a little more detail. So again, thanks for tuning in to these Thursday Thoughts, and we'll see you next week on next week's Thursday Thought. Ciao.